Assalamu alaikum students. Let's start today our lecture number 17. In the last lecture number 16 we finished we have looked into the working of the DNS protocol on the application layer, and we looked into it that how the DNS will work and how the client request will go to the DNS in order to be resolved into an IP address, and further the IP address is sent to the gateway router and further routers on the network to the destination, and how the resolution of the URL into IP address will be done by the root DNS, okay, authoritative DN, top level domain DNS and authoritative DNS and the local DNS. Today our topic is point-to-point application after the DNS. Point-to-point application means that some of the applications which are point-to-point, how that architecture will be handled on the network. We will also look into client-server perspective of in this regard. Okay, let's start with the pure point-to-point architecture. Definitely the request will go through the intermediary routers, but the aim is that we have to, the application developed is basically point to point, okay, because we don't need the services of any server for these type of applications which are pure point to point application, okay. So no always on server is required. In this case, arbitrary end systems will directly communicate with each other. That is why these are called the point-to-point applications. Usually we have seen that in client-server architecture we do need the services of a server in order to serve the request of the client, because the client will send a request to the server and the server will process the client request and send a reply back to the client. That is the client-server architecture, okay. But here in point-to-point architecture, the clients are basically the end systems which will communicate directly with each other without the interference of any server, okay. They don't need the services of a server, okay. Peers are intermittently connected and change IP addresses. They are directly connected with each other, and by using the IP address of the peers they communicate with each other. For example, here you could see on the diagram that this computer, this mobile host is connected with this computer, or this desktop is connected with this laptop. In this topic we will study basically three further topics. We will look into three further topics: file distribution in between point-to-point systems, and searching for the information in point-to-point systems, and case study. We will look into the Skype case study. Let's start the file distribution, which is the first topic in this regard. Server client versus point-to-point. What will happen here actually, how much time it will take to distribute a file from one server to NPs. This is a server here, and in order to go to point we will start with the client server architecture, okay. This server is going to upload a file whose size is f bits, okay, and whose upload capacity or the bandwidth is US upload capacity of the server. And this is the network with abundant bandwidth, okay. Now NPs are connected starting from 1 to up to n. This is the dn is the download bandwidth of nth peer, and un is the upload bandwidth of the nth peer. Now the server upload bandwidth is US, and UI is the peer I upload bandwidth, and DI is the peer I download bandwidth, okay. This is the upload and download for the peer number 2, and this is the upload and download bandwidth of peer number 1. This is for the peer number n, upload and download. This is the upload for the server, okay. Definitely server has to upload something, then only the peer can download it, and then the peer can also upload it. So this is the question that we have to look, that how much time it will take for a file of size f bits to be uploaded from server to the n number of computer speeds. Okay. Our main aim is to calculate the file distribution time here. Okay. In case of client server. Okay. So server sequentially send n copies because there are n number of peaks. Okay. So if the file size is f, so f upon upload bandwidth is the time to send one copy. If there are n peers, it has to send how many? N number of copies. So it will be multiplied with n. Okay, n, each file is of size f bits divided by its total upload capacity for the server, because server is going to upload. Okay. Now the client has to download this copy from the internet. It will send it on the access link and the client is going to download this copy. Okay. So the client I takes one client I, any client, either 1, 2 or 3 or client number n. Okay. Client I will take f file size of f bits divided by the download capacity of that client I. Okay. It will take f upon di time to download that copy for client I. Okay. Now the total time in case of client server, okay, the total time, the delay in case of client server, time to distribute f file f of f bits to n number of clients using client server approach, it will be equivalent to delay in case of client server approach is equivalent to, you will take maximum of that, because f number of bits or the file size of f bits is going to be uploaded by the server f upon the upload capacity of the server, rate of the server, into n number of peers. Okay, because it will take n copies have to be distributed, so definitely it should be the delay to upload one file is multiplied with n number of copies. Okay, comma, the size of the file divided by the minimum time, because this is the slowest peer going to download this file, the peer which is having the minimum download capacity, download bandwidth. Okay, the minimum download capacity is the peer di whose bandwidth is di. Okay, peer I and his bandwidth is d, and this is the minimum bandwidth who is going to download this copy, and this will be divided, file size will be divided with its bandwidth. So you have to take the maximum of these two. It will be the total time to distribute the n number of copies by the server who is having the bandwidth us, and the slowest peer who is going to download this file having the minimum bandwidth di. Okay, it will take the maximum time, because this is the one who will take the maximum delay, who will give the maximum delay. This can give the maximum delay because it is the client which is having the least bandwidth. So this will be the last who will finish downloading the file, and definitely unless until he download the file, it is there to upload it. Okay, so this will give you the maximum delay in case of client server architecture. But here the question is this, that will this delay be keep on increasing if the number of peers are increasing, if the number of computers are, because these number of computers can increase, the peers can increase. So increases linearly in n number of peers for large n. If the number of peers will keep on adding in the network, so definitely the server has to distribute that much copies. that many copies. So definitely this time will be keep on, if n is going to be increased, this delay will increase. And if that one is the slowest peer with the least bandwidth, definitely it will take more time to download that copy. So as a overall, the delay will increase in case of client server architecture. Okay, so that is why increases it linearly in n. If number of peers are linearly increasing, so it will increase but linearly. Okay, okay. So for large number of peers, if they are connecting to the network. Now here, this is the file distribution time calculation in case of pure point-to-point architecture. Okay, so the peer will get the file from where? Definitely one has to upload the file. So the one who will initiate the upload, it will be considered as a server. Okay, server must send one copy at least. Then the peer will handle it automatically. One peer will download the copy, and the peer will then send the copy to the other peer, to the other host. Okay, so the first copy has to be uploaded by the server. Okay, the first copy has to be uploaded by the server. Okay, server must send one copy, and to send one copy, the time it will take f upon its uplink bandwidth. Okay, uplink bandwidth of the server, uplink of the server time, it will take f upon uplink capacity of the server time. The client I, for example, the ith client is there, it is going to download that copy. How much time it will take? F upon di, the download capacity or the download bandwidth of the client I. Okay, so this is the upload, this is the download time by the ith client to download this copy, which is being updated by the uploaded by the server. So nf bits must be downloaded aggregate. Nf bits mean if n number of peers are there, it's mean total bits, f bits, which is the file size, multiplied with the number of the peers, and number of the peers are n, because there are n peers, n computers, so they must have to download the copy. They have to download the f number of bits, which is the size of the file. Okay, must be downloaded aggregate. This is the total. Okay, fastest possible upload rate, what it could be? The upload rate of the server plus the upload of all the clients, because once the server is going to upload the first copy, that copy will be downloaded by any one of the peer. Now the peers are also going to upload the copies. So the first peer will upload the copy, it will be downloaded by the second peer. The second peer will again upload the copy, it will be downloaded by the third peer. The third peer will upload the copy, it will be downloaded by the fourth peer. Okay, so like this, once the server has initiated or started the upload of the file in the beginning, and that copy is downloaded by first peer, now the first peer will keep on, it will send the copy, and that will be downloaded by the second peer, and like that the peer will keep on continuing uploading the files, and the other peers will keep on downloading the files. So the upload rate, the fastest possible upload rate, is the upload rate of the server for the first copy, which was uploaded by the server, plus the sum of all the uploads by the I number of the peers, by n number of peers, and n is in this case I, value of I is from 1 to n, because there are n number of peers, so you have to take the sum of all the uploads of the peers. Clear? So to calculate the total delay in case of point-to-point application architecture, this is the time to be taken by the server with the capacity, uplink capacity for the server, and the size of the file is f upon uplink capacity of the server. this is the time to download the first copy by the first peer. For example, the size of the file is same, f, divided by the minimum bandwidth. So we have to keep in mind the minimum. Unless until you keep in mind the minimum, you can't say that the copy has been distributed to all the computers equally. You must have to keep in mind that the minimum one, because this is the last one to get the copy. If you take the fastest one, this will be the first one to download the copy. So you can't guarantee that all the peers they have received the copy unless until you consider the slowest one. So you should keep in mind the slowest one, because the slowest one will be the last one. Exactly. He will be the last one to download the copy. If you take the fastest one, he will be the first one. It will be the first one. So you can't guarantee that the file has been uploaded and it is being downloaded by all the peers. It has already been downloaded by all the peers unless until you keep the slowest one in mind. That is why here, to download the copy, we consider the slowest one. Clear? So this is the size of the file. This is the minimum of all the peers download. We have to take the download capacity or download bandwidth of the peer, which is having the minimum download capacity from 1 to n. Okay. Now this is the total you have to calculate, because this is the upload, this is the slowest download, but now every peer who is downloading the copy, he is again uploading it. The first peer who downloaded the copy, he will upload it again. The second peer will download it, the second peer will upload it again, and the third peer will download it. This is basically point to point. The first copy is uploaded by the server. Now the server will not send any other copy. Now the peer will propagate the copies. They will keep on sending the copies. They will keep on uploading and the other peers will keep on downloading, unless until all the peers they have received the copy, downloaded the copy. Now for that part, this is that part, that the n number of peers are there. For example, n number of peers are there in this network. Okay, and file size is f, divided by the upload of the server plus the upload of the total peers, all the peers, sum of the upload capacity of all the peers. This will be the total time to upload the copies. Okay, and this will be depending upon the number of peers in the network. Now if we do a comparison between the client server and the point to point, this is the point to point. Okay, the black one is the client server. As we discussed that in case of client server, for large number of n, the increase in the delay, client server delay, it will be linearly. Look here, is this linear increase? Yeah. If the number of n are increasing 5 to 10, 15, 20 linearly, the time minimum distribution time is also increasing, half hour, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, okay, like this linearly. This increase is linear. Whereas in case of point to point architecture, look here, almost all the peers, they will download the file in less than 1 hour. So the response is better in case of point to point architecture, pure point to point architecture, as compared to the client server architecture. Okay, this is the client upload rate, this is the time, it is 1 hour in case of client peer to peer, and in case of server, this is 10 times the number of the peer to peer. Okay, and d minimum is greater than or equal to the upload of the server. So the next topic here is, first topic was the file distribution. We looked into it from client server point of view and from point to point of view. Now second topic is searching for the information, which is BitTorrent. In BitTorrent, you know that the file distribution is being done, means you are downloading the copy of the files. All the P's are downloading the copy of the files. Okay. So this is based on the point-to-point file distribution. That is why we have to study BitTorrent. That is why we have looked first into the point-to-point application architecture, so that we can look into the BitTorrent. Okay, it will help us in understanding the BitTorrent architecture. In the BitTorrent is basically, you could say, it is a collection of computers. Torrent is a collection of computers which are participating in uploading and downloading the file. Okay, any host can join the torrent, and upon completion of the file, he can leave the torrent. Or before even the completion of the file, he can leave the torrent, and whenever it wants, it can again join the torrent and can resume from there. Okay. Now here, tracker and torrent. Tracker basically is a computer which tracks the peers' activities, or the peers which are participating in the torrent. So these all are the peers. This is the tracker. Okay, whenever a new peer joins the torrent, it will obtain a list of the peers from the tracker, because it has to communicate with the peer. It has to communicate with the peer. Unless until the new peer who is going to join the torrent, he will not have a list. He does not know that with whom he has to contact, with whom it has to contact. So that is why it will download the list of the peers from the tracker, and then by looking into that list, it will be able to contact the peer in the participating in that torrent. So torrent is a group of peers who are exchanging the chunk of the file, and the size of the chunk is 256 kilobyte. So the file is divided into 256 kilobyte chunk. So peer joining the torrent has no chunk. Definitely, if a new peer is going to join the torrent, he will not have any chunk, he will not have any bits of the file. He will be raw-handed, empty-handed, okay? But will accumulate them over time. But with the passage of time, he will try to collect the chunks, and he will try to complete the file. Clear? So first of all, the peer who is joining the torrent, he will register with the tracker, with this tracker. If this is a new peer joined this torrent, it will immediately register itself in the torrent. So its name will be added in the list of the peers available in this torrent. Okay, this is the purpose of registration. Clear? So registers with the tracker to get a list of the peers. So definitely once it will get the list of the peers, it knows that who are the peers in this torrent with whom it can contact, and it can receive the chunk of the file from them. Clear? So it will connect to the subset of the peers which are its neighbors. Okay. While downloading, the peer uploads chunk to other peers. Now the new peer who has joined the torrent, it will download the file, okay, from one of the peer in the torrent. At the same time, this new peer will start uploading it as well. So that's why it will act as a point-to-point application, that he is downloading from one peer and he is serving another peer. He is uploading the file to another peer.
Another
New peer. Okay. Or if he is getting a new file, and the one who has already been joined the torrent but he is not having that copy, it can upload to that peer as well. So peer may come and go. They can come, join the torrent, or they can leave the torrent. Okay. Once peer has entire file, once the peer has downloaded the entire file, now it can leave the torrent. Selfishly, it can leave the torrent. Or the torrent peer can remain altruistically in the torrent. It can stay in the torrent and it can keep on uploading the copy. Whatever it is downloading, it can upload it for the other peers. But once it has the copy, it may leave. Even before it has downloaded the whole file, it may leave, and later it can join at any later stage and can continue from there.
When the peer gets the chunks will be ordered or it will be random.
Random. Yeah.
After downloading the
Yeah.
file,
It will leave the pulling chunks. Pulling means you are fetching the chunks. Okay. At any given time, different peer have different subset of the file chunks. This is the answer of your question. They will have different peers will have different subsets of the chunks. It is not necessary they will have the in order chunks. Okay. Periodically, a peer Alice asks each neighbor for list of the chunks that they have. Now the Alice, she has joined the torrent and she is periodically asking its peers. This is the peer, this one is the peer, this one is the peer. She is asking these three peers to give her the chunk whatever they have. So she is asking periodically, a peer Alice, she is asking each of her neighbor for the list of chunks that they have with them. Alice sends a request for her missing chunk. Now this is the question. Some of the chunks might be Alice has received, but some of the chunks with Alice are missing. Now the Alice can request the missing chunks from its peers. Okay. Rarest first, sending chunk tit for tat. Alice sends chunk to 4 neighbors currently, sending her chunks at the highest rate. Re-evaluate top 4 every 10 seconds. Okay, she will re-evaluate top 4 every 10 seconds. Every 30 seconds randomly select another peer. Start sending the chunks to the other peer. Newly chosen peer may join top 4. Optimistically unchoke. Like this, what will happen? This election has to be taken. Why? In order to not to slow down the torrent. So the torrent should behave like actively, not the optimistically or passively, or it should not go in the sleep mode. Okay, that is why the Alice sent chunk to 4 neighbors currently, sending her chunks at the highest rate. Okay, and she is going to re-evaluate top 4 every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds she is going to evaluate the top 4. Every 30 seconds randomly selects another peer. Okay, start sending the chunks to the other peers, and newly chosen peer may join top 4. The newly chosen peers may join top 4. Top 4 who are actively participating. Okay, in this way it will not be choked. Tit for tat, like this here. Alice optimistically unchoked Bob. She is going to send the Bob. Alice becomes one of the Bob's top 4 providers. So now Alice is, for the Bob, one of his top 4 provider. Top 4 we discussed here. Okay. Re-evaluate top 4 every 10 seconds. In every 10 seconds you have to re-evaluate who are the topmost 4 who are giving you the chunks. It means you are receiving the chunks from the top 4. Rest of the you don't about to worry about rest of them. You just keep in mind, consider the top 4 who are giving you the copy of the chunk. Okay, so Alice becomes one of the Bob's top 4 providers. Bob reciprocate. Now what Bob is going to do, Bob becomes one of the Alice top 4 providers. Reciprocates mean Bob is also going to send a copy to Alice back. Okay, so in this way Bob will become one of the top 4 for the Alice. Now they both are one of the 4 topmost provider for each other. Clear?
Depending on rate.
Yeah. With higher upload rate can find better trading partners and get file faster. Now why this method is kept in the torrent, that in 10 seconds you have to re-evaluate the topmost 4 provider, because in this way you will get the copy of the file in a fastest way and the trading will become quite fast. Okay, with higher upload rate can find better trading partners. You can find the better partners who can trade the file with you, and in this way you can get the file faster. The third topic is here in our lecture today. The third topic is Skype case study. Okay. I think the time is going to be finished, so we will start from a Skype case study in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you.